if you like our stuff, please give us a like, follow, and scroll down below. You'll find links to our Discord, YouTube, Asriel's TikTok, and Booty's Twitch. I don't know why they keep trying to get those flip-flopped. Our Discord's free and open. Come in and hang out with us. We just, we like hanging out with everybody and talking, and see you there.
Who's doing the recap today?
Oh, that's my job.
A great transition there.
And we lost. Well, while
we
the
lost
DM is figuring this shit out.
He's gone.
What did we do last session? Anything?
His sacrifice shall be remembered.
I remember. I'm not recapping.
Oh, fuck. It was the hand, wasn't it? It started off last section with Ezekiel coming in to Cardinal Aetheria's room with his fucking stump because he chopped his arm off because he was panicking. He threw up in the room. Cardinal did extremely cool magical clerical shit, and Aetheria burned to cauterize his stump, and then we talked. There was a lot of talking. Words were had. Discussions, even. And then Toby decided to hit Zeke because he was being dumb. And then people got pissed. Emotions were had. And then we decided, you know what, we'll solve this if we go out for a night in the town. So we went to the Drowned Quarter.
Hello.
Oh, Aetheria's here. Perfect. Yeah. We went to the Drowned Quarter. And... What did we do? No, we went to the mosque first. Mosque of the Eternal Flame. He threw Zeke's severed hand into the fire to try and get rid of the curse. That didn't work. Not very useful, this fire. And we learned that the cursed bracelet given to him by his enemy who also killed his parents was tied to his soul, not his hand, so chopping the hand off only solved part of the problem. Let's see. Caligar wrote Archibald's name in his Book of Grudges as a sign of solidarity between him and the human. Then we headed to the Drowned Quarter. There we found some old words in the stone. And then we talked to a dead guy who died in a tsunami. And then we went to the elves, and turns out the secret dark elves living there was fucking Heartrender again. So we paid him to go and kill Archibald because he doesn't deserve to breathe air. And they said they'd try and kill him, so we'll see what happens with that. Yeah. Was that the last thing that we did? No.
After that, we met up at the library. Because I didn't go to see the elves. I went to the library first while the rest of you went to the elves. At which point I was slightly disappointed learning that it was Heartrender, and I missed it.
You went to the library and you missed your...
Yep.
And then we went to an inn, but there was some sort of infernal design in the stonework, and then stepped through a fucking devil called Marduk and brought a gift with him. A set of living armor for our delightful commander, First Lieutenant, now Commander Aetheria. Got a job promotion, sick-ass armor. I think that's what we did. Celebrating Amber's birthday.
Yeah. For some reason, the camera's really slow.
While we fix our technical issues, that's where we ended up.
Quick, the elevator song.
Well, so technically there is no longer a hand to spare, right? There's just a bracelet. Because the hand burned up in the fire, the bracelet didn't, right?
No, the hand survived.
No, the hand left. The fire wasn't
take better notes.
A material fire. It was a curse-breaking fire, so your hand is actually still just sitting there, slowly rotting away at this point. Wait, yeah. Slowly rotting away at this point, I think.
I'm not gonna cast Spare the Dying or anything on your hand, man. You did that.
I don't need it.
I'm just gonna make create bonfire and actually burn your hand away, so we just have the bracelet. It's like, you don't need this anymore.
All right.
Or we'll just get a couple, like 2 pairs of forks, put it in your arm, and then we'll just stick the hand on the forks and see, you can have your hand back. That's good enough, right?
Oh God.
Enemy dead. Oh my god, dude. Wait. Do you mean this hand right here? Do you mean this hand? Should we have it be?
That would be amazing.
All right. As
It's like, quick, can I cast True Resurrection on the
I just
hand
remembered
to
that I
make it alive?
didn't import Amber's new armor, and I'm trying to get that in now. And apparently, that is not something that's here.
As he does that, I can tell you the story of this hand and why I just randomly have a separate hand. I didn't cosplay. That's the answer.
I've seen that cosplay.
Cosplay.
It was fun.
And I cosplayed as Wednesday Addams last Halloween.
Yeah.
Did the
Oh,
braids and
nice.
everything. It was awesome. Now, if you were on our Discord, I might be tempted to share those pictures, but maybe.
Yeah, for last Halloween, I was myself.
Amazing.
I don't dress up for
That's a good
Halloween.
fact.
I have a mask that I still have somewhere, and it's everybody always thinks that I made it myself. I did not. I found it in Walmart, and it was cheap. But it's the Scream mask. You know how it's like the long stretchy face, right? But this one's different because it's made out of it's got the black plastic, but it's made out of burlap with like a full hood type setup. And so it's got an extra level of creep factor to it. And I absolutely adore the thing because it scares kids, it scares people. It's like I wasn't doing anything special. I walked up to a house. It's like, rang the doorbell. The woman opens the door. She's looking at her bowl of candy. Trick or treat! She looks up and screams and drops the bowl.
And you just go, hey, that's the name of the movie.
Yep, it was pretty fun.
Okay.
It's a city.
It is a city.
Alhaka? Thank you. Appreciate it, Quest.
I think I broke something.
That's okay.
You think you broke
Most
something?
kids- What'd you break?
Yeah. I think I broke Foundry.
Uh-oh. You think you
Uh-oh.
broke
How so?
Foundry?
Well, we only have 4 people here who know how to manipulate Foundry, so
He's not wrong.
which I
Yeah, I pushed a button I shouldn't have pushed.
That's never fun.
See, that's why you have the shiny red buttons behind a cover.
Do you want to talk about it? You want me to walk you through it, buddy?
No. No, we're just gonna do this.
oh no.
Off and on again?
Yep.
Well, while we do that, I've been working on the campaign that I will run when one of our 2 main sessions ends. And I got complimented by some people, some other channels when I was sharing some info with them, with some other DMs, kind of asking them what they thought. So I'm excited. I've been working on it. Still a lot of work to do because I am making a fully custom world, and I am not good at. I get
Okay,
bogged
it's back. You guys
down
can
in
reload.
the weeds.
We can reload.
Reload?
I don't think we have to. It said we dropped connection and then it reestablished.
Okay, well, it's not showing anyone here, so
Yeah, I
Ugh.
just did a refresh and it brought me back to the login screen. So yeah, you're gonna have to refresh.
No.
It's just a
All
lag,
right.
guys. Everything's fine.
So I'm not the only one having that issue?
Yeah, I'm excited to continue working on that because I like the direction it's headed, and I'm having time to write before the first session makes it a lot less stressful.
okay, so we're back in now. Let's get things going. So right now, you guys were all at the library, if I remember.
We had just left the library and
Right.
Marduk came, and
Mhm.
I told him that he's a fantastic friend.
Yes. So, you guys are standing outside of the library. There's a bearded devil and a couple of imps that are. The imps are fucking off and they're going to do their own thing. But what would you guys like to do?
Do they go back, or do they just stay?
Oh, the imps disappeared. They were just there to carry the armor for you.
Okay. What time of day is it?
It's like almost 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh man, it's like morning.
8
Okay.
o'clock in the morning.
So, Tobias will turn to the rest of the group. So, did we learn what we needed to head back to the Drowned Quarter?
I don't think we
Do we need
needed to head back. We found the rest of the riddle, right?
Yeah, we found more about those. Yeah, I don't think we need to head back to the Drowned Corridor after we gave it a thorough search already.
Yeah, I think we are waiting to find out how our little side project is going, which is going to take a couple of days. So
We should find a new tavern to rent to get some rooms. 'Cause they kicked us out of the old tavern. Someone decided to bleed all over it.
A new inn shouldn't be difficult.
love how you guys just like completely ignore the fact that there is a devil in front of you.
A second devil.
Well,
I'm not a
devil.
devil. I'm a Goliath.
Close enough.
You know,
You got horns. It's close enough.
I've got bigger concerns than a devil in my
You see
life right
Cardinal
now.
sort of just vibrating in the corner, and she's just praying. God, give me strength not to smite this demon in front of me.
Oh my goodness.
Don't touch my captain.
That's why I'm praying. That's why I'm praying.
So I'm gonna lean in real close to the group. And I'll say, privately, I'll say to the group, so it might help if we have an alibi for a few days, someplace public we can be seen and be there. Is there anything we need to do? Anything we can do in the city? Should we start arranging camel transport, or what should we do?
Renting camels shouldn't be anything difficult, just a matter of moments to go grab some like a horse. Why do we need to be seen?
Because we just hired
we're
assassins.
we're not saying these things out loud, you stupid idiot.
I was saying it above table. We just hired
I know,
assassins. We
above
filled
table.
you in the library. We
Okay.
hired
No.
assassins.
No, we didn't fill them in the
No,
library.
I
nobody's filled me
swear
in
we
yet.
did.
We didn't.
Somebody started to, but then it was let's not say that in public.
Okay.
So let's
Yeah.
find a good tavern for.
How about we go to a park where there's nobody around?
Well,
Park.
we can go to the park over here, the famous one.
Could scout it
that
out.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's go to the park.
All right, let's head to the park, DM.
Let's all go to the drive-through. Let's all.
Oh,
go.
see, I was thinking of How I Met Your Mother. Let's go to the mall.
I mean, that was
So
pretty good too.
the elves mentioned an oak tree. Is there like a very prominent oak tree in this park?
There is one. It's very old, very massive, very tall, right smack dab in the middle of the park. Kind of more to the northeast, there's say a decent size pond, nice little fountain. You got ducks, you got geese, you got like a pair of swans because what kind of fancy place doesn't have swans?
Can we go back a
Um,
little bit? On the way to the park, can I buy a picnic lunch for everyone?
Also, I would tell Murdoch not to leave until I've had a chance to talk to him in private. Which I'd say in Infernal, because I don't want these fools to hear me.
Yeah.
So
He kind of looks at
general
you,
store
turns
or
around and goes,
restaurant. Okay.
"Where would you like me to go in the meantime?" I kind of stand out like a sore thumb. Didn't think about that
Well-
one, did you?
How long is the spiky one gonna be here?
Until I tell him he can go home. Does anybody have a cloak with a hood?
You do.
I do? I'm gonna put my cloak on him with the hood up. There you go.
Just to clarify, your cloak is the cloak of protection.
Oh.
I'm not giving up my cloak.
I'll put it on him and I say, if you run away with this, I will hunt you down and torture you. But you can
He
put
just
it
laughs.
on.
He just laughs and says, "When have you ever known me to run away?"
Good point. You can have this on while we're in the city. Keep your hood up. And just talk in common if somebody talks to you.
And where would you like me to wait for you?
You're gonna come with me.
Oh, okay. You now have a bearded devil following you.
On a picnic. He'll fit
On a
right
picnic.
in with the
Right. This is a bearded devil.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
How like luxurious is his beard?
It's not that kind of beard.
It's tentacles.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like
Okay. I just had to clarify.
Those are poisonous.
This is how luxurious his beard is.
Okay. Now,
Yep. And now he has a cloak of protection with his hood up,
Gods.
and he's just gonna stay with us because I want to talk to him later.
Okay, so on your way, you're looking for like a general store, or just looking
General
for some
store
food on the
and a
way?
restaurant, someplace to kind of get cheeses, breads, to have a picnic at the park.
Roll a perception for me.
$13.
Okay. You find a bakery. It's about the only thing that's there, and it's not even that. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm just blanking here. It doesn't have that much of a selection. Pretty much, you've got various different sizes of loaves of bread. But on the way, you also pass like a street meat vendor.
I'll take it. Not looking to go too far out of the way. Just something to do and eat when we get there at lunchtime.
Say the bread costs you. Are you just doing like one loaf, couple loaves?
Probably 2 loaves.
All right, silver for the 2. For the if you're getting something from the street vendor, let's just keep it simple and say it's another silver gives you enough to do a decent sized meal for everybody.
Got it.
All right. Yeah, same deal. Silver. And yeah, as you guys are walking through the streets, Marduk watches as you grab the stuff, and he kind of like his eyes narrow, and he looks at the thing, and he says this in common. Just you can hear like the sneer in his voice. He's like, "That's what they eat here."
I know it's not the best, but guess what I found? And I pull out my bottle of brimstone ale, which is not. There's not a whole lot left.
Kind of like nods approvingly and says, "And look what I brought you." And he pulls out a bottle of the Hellfire wine.
Oh. See, my friend, this is why I keep you around.
I had a feeling like you've been up here for long enough that you're missing that taste of home.
Very, very much so. There is one that I am going to share this with. I believe he will appreciate that. Caligar, which I think he's AFK. Oh no, there he is.
Oh, he's there.
Caligar, I have another. I have wine for you to try.
His face is going to go through a quick mixture of like, wine? Ooh, wait,
Oh, wait down.
this person's wine. and
You may want to try a little bit
Okay.
to start. The reaction you had last time, and I like lean over to Murdoch and go, I think it almost burned his gullet out.
He just chuckles and cracks the bottle open and hands it over.
I'll take it and sniff it, smell it, and then after getting a good sense of it, then I'll go ahead and take a swig.
So when you smell it, it actually has a very familiar scent. It reminds you of working in a forge. And when you go to take that sip, it has as soon as it hits your tongue, it reminds you of the ale, but the intensity is a lot more like you had just taken a hot coal and put it right in your mouth. And as you swallow, you feel that familiar intense burning, but there's also on like the edge of your perception, you start hearing screams.
I'll take that swig, and as it goes down, I'll just
Good ambiance, isn't it?
at least there's another reset that knows how.
You cut out there at the end.
I said, at least there's another race out there that knows how to make a strong. And I'll give it back with a little cough.
And when you cough, like cinders come out.
Yeah, I take a swig.
Cardinal's just in the back watching this horrified but fascinated.
So Tobias will lead us to a kind of an open area in the park, away from everyone else. So there's no one close by that could be listening to us.
Okay. So you find an area it's fairly well open. There is a rather broad maple tree kind of off in the corner. You get some good shade there as well. Gets you out of the sun. And the closest people to you are probably about 150, 200 feet away.
Got it. And I'll sit down, put out the bread, the meats, and encourage everyone to start making lunch for themselves. And I'll basically start to catch up Calgar on what we did. And I'll tell him, well, we found your best friend, Heartrender, it's kind of near the edge of the near the edge of the city, and or near the edge of the drowned quarter, and we paid him a lot of money too. And I'll turn to Athera and say, "Are we being spied on right now?"
I cannot tell you that because here's your gem.
And I'll take the gem and go, "Here's your gem," and I'll pass it to Calgar.
And I'll take it and I'll look at Cardinal and Ezekiel and just here's your gem. I can't use this right.
Do bearded devils have true sight?
That's a good question.
I think they might.
But
no.
yes.
Oh,
Either one of you can use. I cannot.
You are cutting out on your last ends of your words.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry,
I'll say.
I'm-
Oh well. Well. I just look around and I don't see anything. I say, well, we found Heartrender. We paid him a lot of. He wanted a lot of money to spy on Archibald, but he only wanted half as much money to kill him. So we talked it over, decided to give him the money, and we think he's going to try. Now I'll turn to Ezekiel. I'll say, yeah, I agree with you that I don't think it's going to be as successful as they think, but I think it's worth it to do something rather than to wallow in helplessness.
How much did you give to the Druki?
8,000 gold.
8 out of whose pocket?
All of our pockets. I put up a bit of money myself.
8,000. And so he's going to get rid of Archibald.
And he's pretty much going to attack his warehouse. And when it's done, he's going to stick a dagger in the tree over there. And then the next day, we can come and collect Archibald's ring. And that should be enough to break the curse on Ezekiel, we think. Maybe.
Also,
Until they
nobody's
move
going to
it.
get out of the building alive.
I seem to have missed a very exciting hour and a half. Or 2 hours.
We found out a few things in the drowned quarter. Nothing as good as you found out, but
Well,
Ezekiel, you're being very quiet.
I'm just waiting for this all to hit ahead. Explode in our faces.
Well,
So we
Here's the-
have several days for this to go down, correct?
yes. When they attack is very unclear.
So
I think we're gonna want an alibi, and I'm still being very quiet to the group. And I'll say, if we don't need to have that ring, I'd say we can go hit Kremley, right? Or Kremen?
Kemri.
Kemri. We can go hit Kemri right now. We can just leave. But I think getting that ring would be important.
If that
If you-
ring falls into the wrong hands, it makes my life hell.
That is a good point.
I think
We-
we should wait to find out if the contract has been fulfilled. You always want to ensure your contracts are followed to the letter. As Ezekiel
And
understands.
There is a whole city. We could take a break until we're forced back on the road again.
We can always get our
Well,
hair
if
done
we-
again.
If we have a couple days, I could possibly make up something simple for you so you don't have an empty space, Ezekiel.
Oh, I
Maybe just a simple. Maybe just a simple hand that you could put a dagger or something into.
well,
Maybe you could visit the dwarves.
I
What was
mean,
that?
I would be amenable
Good.
to having something other than a nub there.
Perhaps you could visit the dwarves, seek some of their help. Or just
I don't know. I don't know
hang out with them.
if there is a dwarf quarter in this city. I know there was one in Kofor, but I don't know about here.
Guess we can ask.
Quick question.
Happen.
Tobias sees Athera acting confused when I mentioned the hair salon. Does Athera have hair?
Underneath my helmet.
And I'll say to Athera, have you never gone to the salon?
I just
Can't
don't
hear you.
understand why that's a.
Now you're cutting out.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Like, not happening. What did I say? Oh, I was just like, out of all of the things that could be done right now, you were worried about.
Okay, I'm gonna introduce everyone to a
It's-
fancy concept. Push to talk.
Did I cut out again?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck me, man.
It might be Discord,
What should I use?
the connection,
Am-
because we are.
Well, if you start looking good, you start feeling good, and everything else just falls in line. That's my opinion. The one affects the other. Did I cut off?
No.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Wonder if this city has a bathhouse.
Yeah, we got to do something for a few days, and I'll lean in close. An alibi would be nice.
Yeah, we should stick to public places and spend more money so that people are willing to verify we were there. I'm actually pretty
Well.
good at alibis.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Honestly, push to talk is a bitch. I hate it.
I'll need to find a forge.
How about this? We find an inn for all of us. We come here every morning or so. Or at least one of us. And until then, we do what we need to do in the city.
Do you need to do anything, Cardinal?
I would like some peace, if I can get it.
I think you're in the wrong line of work.
Need it.
This is the business of cracking skulls and drinking. It's not the business of calm morning and peaceful nights.
That's why I take it where I can, my friend.
Well,
Well, this park's not a bad start.
I need to find a nice tea shop.
Why do you need a tea shop?
Because if I need to stop the downward spiral I've been on, that means getting my mind right and not drinking liquor again. And tea helps.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. How about we find where we're gonna stay, and then tea, and then we can just do whatever we want for a couple of days.
Yeah, we can each go explore.
My recommendation
Sounds fine.
for building an alibi, wherever you go, introduce yourself to everyone. Spend money, be friendly, make sure people remember you. If we're
Say
going to
hi.
be splitting up,
Friendly.
if we're going to be splitting
Right.
up, then we want people to know exactly where we were, what days we were there. Because we won't be as recognizable as the group that was in one spot if we're splitting up.
I don't think we should split
I
up
look down
too
at
much.
myself, look back up, and I go, I think I'm recognizable, regardless of if I'm with you or not. Also, Caligar, because he has a dragon.
I was about to pointedly look over at Furley.
I think Art Render is going to do the thing, but I also think he wouldn't mind taking a shot at Caligar. So I don't think we should split up too much.
Caligar, you're welcome to join us if you want. I do enjoy your company and Forelli's company.
I will be needing to spend some time in the forge to make up Ezekiel's new hand. It won't be anything incredibly fancy, but it'll be something to at least take up the space, and also I'll have to see what else I can. But it'll be something.
So we split into smaller groups.
I'd
Just
say
don't go, essentially.
at worst 2 groups. And most of everyone should go with Caligar.
Sounds like a
All
plan.
right?
Let's go.
So,
Okay.
we got to find out if there's a dwarven quarter, find out if there's a blacksmith that will let you work there. Kind of guard and protect Caligar a little bit. And
Why don't we
see if
find an
there's...
inn in the Dwarven Quarter?
That's a good idea, if there's a dwarven quarter. And Tobias will start packing up the picnic supplies and saving his bread and meats if there's any left.
Yeah, Caligar would have definitely been snacking throughout.
I eat
Argo would
it.
have avoided the food.
I don't know if Marduk eats any, probably not, but I eat.
No, he's just trying to be as much into the shadow as possible.
Yeah.
So heading
I'm
out of this
enjoying
park
this.
Standing
again.
behind
Walking the devil
everybody
around
like
town.
Drax.
Heading out
I'm
of the
More
park
of a
again.
badass than Drax.
But
Tobias
he's
will
just
see if he
sitting there.
can flag down a guard if there's any nearby.
Roll a perception.
Nice.
So you don't see any guards in the vicinity of the park, but one thing you do see is across the way for that little pond, lake, whatever. Um, seems like there's a gated community, but a sign outside makes you feel like it would be an inn of sorts. The sign reads that it's Parkside Vistas.
Parkside Vistas. Okay, and I'll point it out to the rest of the group, and I'll say this seems like it'd be expensive, but it's a tavern, an inn. Shall we go here?
Could at least price it
It
out.
shouldn't be. Yeah, could ask some questions.
May as well look. It's not like we have to be here long.
Well, we're here 2 to 3 days, probably.
Minimum of 2, I believe.
All right, so Tobias will head to the gated inn.
Okay. So it's just right across the bridge, pretty much. Right there. And
Okay.
as you're walking up, like the gate, the fence forward kind of like goes in line with the front facade of the building. It goes right to the water's edge. And like as you're approaching, you can kind of see behind. And once you get through the building, there's a path that goes through what seems like a bunch of different cottages. And as you walk in, there's a fairly well dressed human man just standing behind the desk, and it looks like he has been solely focused on the door. The moment you walk in, his face lights up with the most hospitable smile you've ever seen, and he just says, "Hello, welcome. Are you looking for a place to stay?"
Possibly, yes. My name is Tobias, and this is the Neverchosen. Depending on the price, we're new to the city, so we were looking for an inn, a tavern, a place to stay.
Well, we can definitely accommodate. Is this your entire party? And looks at everyone. His eyes kind of like stop for a second on Marduk, and there's a bit of hesitation, and then he moves past.
Yep, dragon included.
Dragon included. That will absolutely be a first for us. Let me see what we have to accommodate you. He starts flipping through a book. Um, goes probably about halfway through, and finally stops, runs his finger down a page, and goes, "I do have a few options for you. Um, obviously, for a party of this size, we do have our premier location, which is fairly well secluded. It's back in the corner. It's got a nice round of trees, so it's very private. That'll run you about 600 gold per night.
Oof.
If you're looking for something a little bit more affordable, for the size of your group, including the dragon, we do have one that is right on the water's edge. That'll be maybe a little tight, but still fairly well comfortable. That one will be about 250 a night.
All right, I'll turn to the group and say
Is that per
that's
person or for the villa?
It's for the house, so it is a total price. Not for anyone that is individual. It's just you're renting that location. That is yours. And while this one is close to the water's edge, so you do have a beautiful view of the park. Um, one of the things we do pride ourselves in is that all of the locations are still secluded. So yes, the premier one does have that bit higher up. The trees do cover most of the view coming into the location, whereas on the water's edge, obviously, you will be a little more exposed to the patrons of the park across the way.
Now, we are under the employ of Fairchild Enterprises. Is there any way we could just bill it to their corporate account?
That would be possible, but to do that, I would require proof of employment. See, that organization does have such a prominent reputation in the city that people have tried billing rooms to them before. The first time that was attempted, we did give a corporate rate, and then we very nearly lost all business associated with them. So we make sure that we verify before we provide that service again. If that is the case, that 600 gold villa would be reduced to 350, and the 250 would be reduced to 100.
Oh, Tobias will turn to the rest of the group and say, "That sounds so nice, but that's pretty darn expensive for how long we're going to be staying here. What do you guys think?"
Could swing 3 days. It'd be pricey, but I'm gonna be on the road after that. Not much point in money.
Why waste money on a villa when an inn will suffice, and we want to go to the Dwarven Quarter anyway? This is a little
Privacy.
bit counterintuitive to our goals.
And he kind of pipes up and says, "Well, if I might interject, you are going to be very hard pressed to find anything of quality in the city. Most inns will not be able to accommodate a group of your size. If they do, you're going to be very cramped, and there's no guarantee of any sort of privacy."
Yeah, we understand. These villas look great, and that'd be amazing to stay in here, but I don't think we have the money to afford the 2 to 3 nights we'll be staying here.
And
Thank you
what
for your
if
consideration.
the price was 200 instead of 250?
Ooh, that'd be much better.
I'll turn to the rest of the group.
Also, if so, you pride yourself on privacy and discretion and whatever. What happens if that does not prove to be the case and our privacy is broken? Do we get our money back? Do we get to take that out in flesh?
His gaze goes from you, flicks back to Marduk, and back to you, and goes, "While we do pride ourselves on the seclusion in the units, we do not offer a guarantee. Access is limited. The lake that we are situated on is fairly deep. It is difficult to traverse unless you have specific means to do so. And there is no, it is restricted access in through the front gate."
Now, does your services include a concierge?
Yes?
Because we do need to prepare for the journey we're about to take, and we could use some help lining up camels for the road.
We can arrange that assistance. Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
For a cost.
How much?
5%. I should be
Think
clear.
about it.
5% on whatever the total is of the services that you need. So if you're looking for camels, whatever price they quote you, there would be a 5% addition on top of that. That would be paying for our providing the service to make that connection for you.
We can think about it. I think we can go for the smaller house, smaller villa, for 3 nights at the most.
Okay. You guys want to rent the smaller
I
house?
think that's a fantastic idea. I was hoping I could get some pound of flesh, but that's okay. I won't take that out on you. It's fine.
I think we can pay for it day by day, just in case we need to leave.
Oh yes, nightly.
All right, and then Tobias will put up 100 gold and
Tobias, keep your money for now.
well,
I'll pay
take
with
back
the
my 100
crowns.
gold.
Okay, so he starts writing into the logbook, flips it, turns it around, just slides it forward with a pen, and says, "Who will be taking primary responsibility for the rental?"
Tobias
You
will
know,
step up and sign it.
I like the roller.
What name do you sign?
Ooh, I'm gonna sign Tobias Atzweiger.
spins it back around, collects the money from you, and says, "Very well, Mr. Atzberger, and I believe you said your group is called the Neverchosen." Reaches under the
Correct.
desk, pulls out a key, hands it across to you, and says, "The unit that you're looking for is at the very end of the compound. It's lovely, two-story. Um, I believe it has 5 bedrooms, um, all very well suited and comfortable. And well, yes, it is unfortunately on the cheaper end. It's actually still my favorite. It's got character."
Thank you. Can't wait to see it.
Now, do you have any recommendations on a tea house within the city limits?
Oh, I have several. What quality are you looking for?
Mid to high end.
Mid to high end? Okay. If you're looking for the high end, you will find some in the market just north of the palace. Roughly there.
And what if I kind of find the palace aesthetic kind of gaudy? I like to be more around, let's more on the mid end, somewhere where, you can watch real businessmen at work, not so much the hoity-toity nobles of the city.
That would depend on what you mean by real businessmen.
The hard workers, not the elite, the people who are really doing middle management.
I would say you're probably looking for Central T. There is a lovely little park in the middle of the city. If you are on the west side of that park, you can't miss it. Is there anything else I can help you find or locate in the city before you retire to?
Um,
Does there
You were saying
happen to
something?
be a dwarven quarter?
fuck, this thing sucks. Is there a dwarven quarter?
No, we do
Or
not
an
have a
area?
quarter of the city specifically assigned for
Well,
dwarves.
is there happen to be any sort of population of dwarf?
I'm sure there's a few. Dwarves don't tend to come through Haiik.
That's about what I expect. Is there anywhere with a decent forge?
You could try. There is a blacksmith along the northern wall. What is it in particular that you're looking to purchase?
Not purchase. I need the forge itself. I need to create some. And I do not have tools in a magical pouch.
What are you looking to create, if I might ask?
A hand.
He looks over at Ezekiel and goes,
Oh,
"I understand."
yeah. In our journeys, obviously being the heroes that we are does not come without some risks.
I'll
I,
just
I
lean
I
over
do
to.
understand that. My dear
Well,
cousin fought against the Bretonians when they came on their hateful war, and he was very successful until he took an arrow to the knee.
I'll just lean over a little closer to him, just like kind of whisper, just Hydra.
So, when you say that you're looking for a forge to make a hand, are you looking for more fashion or more function? Specifically, meaning, does it need to be capable of wielding or turning into a weapon of some kind?
Wielding. It's going to be functional. This is not going to be dressing
I understand. In that case, the blacksmith at the northern wall might not be suited for you. What you could do is go to the barracks for the city guard and see if they have a forge that they'd be willing to let you use. That is going to be through the eastern gate.
Easter.
The fort is very difficult to miss.
All right.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
That's all I need.
In that case, please enjoy the accommodations. And if you need anything, there is a bell located just inside of the front entrance where if you ring it, there's a minor enchantment that has it ring here, and we will have someone come out that can provide any assistance that you require.
All right, we'll
I
head to.
think I might enjoy this place.
It has its perks.
Yeah, we'll head to the cabin at the end. It's this one, right?
Yep.
Well, I'll lead the party there, and we'll head in and take a look and see what it's like, and get settled down for a little bit before we have to head out again.
I'll just look around real
So
quick.
you said there's
but I
5
don't have-
rooms?
Yep, 5 rooms. They're when you walk in, like the exterior wall is made from stone, and it's finely crafted. Even Calgar looking at it, you're not able to find many tool marks on it. All the blocks seem to kind of like fit well together. You get inside, and the floor is polished tile, and there's a wide open kind of like central living area with various couches and pillows, and it's just kind of like your typical sitting area. Off of that are 5 rooms, and you open a door, and the rooms have I'd say probably double-sized beds, more plush mattresses than anything you've seen at any inn you've slept in so far. Just has that feeling of the higher end comforts.
It's not bad for umgi work. It's not entirely. And I'll just kind of look around and take it in for a moment before just heading over to the door again. I'm ready to just go find this forge.
Well, shall we get the concierge started on prices for camels, locations, and any other traveling supplies we might need?
I feel like
That's not a bad
pretty
idea.
Easy thing to do within 3 days. I could handle that.
You can handle that? All right. So who's gonna go with Caligar? All right, I'll go with Caligar.
I had to step away. Where was Caligar's forge that he's going to?
East Gate.
East Gate? Like over here?
Yep.
Okay.
Specifically, he's going to the fort for the city guard.
Gotcha. I'll stick with Cardinal. I'll let Caligar measure whatever he needs on my arm, and then go with Caligar. Or, sorry, Cardinal. Wherever she goes.
I'll go over to Ezekiel, take his arm, just kind of roughly twist it around real quick and look at it. All right, we're good.
It's still sensitive.
Just for shits and giggles, roll an investigation, Caligar.
Sure. Say 23.
Okay. Yeah, you've got that practice
you're
eye,
insane.
like
Only when it comes to
kind of grab his
investigation.
arm. You're just looking at it, and you're like, "Yeah, I got this." you've got his measurements down to a T. You know exactly what size you're going to make it, how long it's going to be, how far up the arm it's going to be, how you're going to attach it to his body, stuff like that. You've got a fairly good idea of the overall plan just from that like 30-second look.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So
is
after,
Tobias
after I
going
finish-
with Caligar?
Yes.
I might actually stay behind, and I'll catch up with you later.
Okay, we're headed to the eastern fort.
Mhm.
However we get there.
All right. You have legs. Let's walk.
Sure. And Tobias has to kind of count his gait so he doesn't outwalk Caligar and his stubby legs.
Uh-huh. It's okay. You may be tall, but that just means you have more for me to cut off.
As you're walking through the city, you're getting noticeable looks. Because even though this is primarily a human city, they understand that dwarves and elves are never seen side by side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a dwarf, an elf, and a dragon. What the heck is going on here?
All right, so you two are going there. Othira, and I'm assuming Marduk are staying behind.
Yeah.
Where are Zeke and Cardinal going?
To the tea shop first.
Central T.
If you guys want to do your thing first, yeah, I think my poor boy is trying to explode over here, and I need to let him out for a quick 5-minute walk.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right,
We
I'll
start
be
with
right back.
Athira and Marduk. Getting spicy over there.
Ooh.
Rochambeau, who wants to go first?
Oh, shit, but her
This is gonna go so poorly.
leg was so bad.
Are we doing it?
Roll
1,
off.
2, 3, go!
This is D&D. You gotta
1,
roll
2,
off.
Oh my
2,
god.
3.
Oh,
Just
Both of you just roll a d4.
Oh, E4? That's like a 25%
lag
chance
is-
of a tie.
the lag is real.
Cardinal wins. Do you want to go first or second?
Second.
Oh, jeez. Oh, fuck.
So once everyone
Oh,
leaves,
man.
Marduk just turns to Aether and says, and like he's switched back to Infernal because that's just a much more comfortable language for him. He goes, "You've been with these
100%.
people for how long?"
I don't know. How long has it been? Like 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Because we traveled on boat for a couple of weeks.
You're at about 2 weeks ish. Week and a half.
Yeah, almost 2 weeks.
And you haven't killed them
Now
yet.
do you see why I'm frustrated? I know. It's a. If it wasn't for the fact that Dispater specifically said I needed to help them, they'd all be fucking dead. Other than, I think Caligar, I kind of like him. Because he likes my type of drink.
I have a feeling there's so much more at play here than just Dispater's orders, though.
What do you mean?
Potential.
Potential to or gain influence. You're gonna have to be a little bit more specific than that, Marduk.
Potential to... how to phrase that? bind them to Despader's will.
Oh. Yes, I've been thinking about that as well. I already talked to Ezekiel, and if we can find a way to break his contract, he is willing to sign a different one. If he has bargaining power. Tobias is on a slippery slide to as well. Caligar has expressed interest in coming to Cardinal. We'll have to see how she goes.
The cleric, I think, would be the hardest one to break. That the dwarf has so eagerly gone after our alcohol surprises me. Usually they are more focused on the concoction from, what's his name, Bugbeard or something like that.
Is that the stuff that I tried? That he showed
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
He has shown me that, and he has a tankard for it. He's been mixing the...
1 second.
Are you losing it?
Sorry, say again?
I said he's shown me that he has a tankard that ever flows with that brew. He has been mixing the brimstone ale with it to gain a tolerance, and he is starting to seem like he enjoys it. So he is quite malleable. And the dragon is very interested in coming to the Hells to experience our heat. And he said he would come with the dragon. He's very interested in the city of Dis and the fact that we create weapons.
If I may, it sounds like you're already setting the groundwork.
It's gloriously fun. Otherwise, they'd be dead. Especially Ezekiel. That one. Did Dis have anything to say about what's going on with him?
Mostly he just laughed.
Dis Vader. I wouldn't have said Dis. He enjoys my torment.
I know your ascension to commander is recent, but if you're able to bring warriors like these under the auspices of Despader, I believe that would set you on the path to becoming one of his generals.
That is a very good point. And you, my friend, could be one of my lieutenants.
I live but to serve. And like when he says that, the phrasing he uses in Infernal also could be interpreted as I will willingly stab you in the back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, he also knows what would happen if he tried. I think this is going to be fun. I have to have some sort of entertainment. It's like dealing with babbling buffoon. But I appreciate your insights.
Now, if I may, I do find this realm completely intolerable. Might I return, and is there a message you would like me to bring back to our Lord?
You may. I'll take my cloak back. Just let him know I am working on them.
It shall be done.
I will And any news that you find about breaking the contract, please make sure I find that out as soon as possible.
As soon as I return, I will task what I can to find that information for you.
Wonderful. Cloak.
He hands it over.
Put it back on. Clap him on the shoulder.
And with that, he kind of gives a little bow and then steps back, and the tile underneath his feet blackens as that portal opens and he's ripped through it. Once the portal closes, the tile work remains etched with the infernal ruins of his transportation.
Wonderful.
Wait, he did what?
I look at that and go,
He teleported back to hell and left infernal ruins permanently etched into the floor. Y'all are not getting your security deposit back.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
You didn't ask for a security deposit.
yeah, once that's done, I think I'm going to take a nap without all of these people around me.
Okay. And then we move over to Ezekiel and Cardinal. So it takes you guys probably about half hour, 45 minutes to work your way through the city until you find that centralized park. And as the description was given to you, the tea house is very easy to see. There's actually just a giant sign parked out front with a steaming cup of tea, surrounded by pillows.
I think we found it.
I hope they have some good tea.
God, one can.
Well, we should head inside and
Hmm.
see what they got.
Okay, so when you go inside, it's got that feeling of it's trying to appear upper class. The fixtures are just a little too ostentatious. There's a lot of like gold inlay and filigree, but you get closer inspection. It's really just like gold leaf that's painted on. The pillows for each individual section that's got a privacy wall there, they seem like they're a little bit overstuffed. Um, the fabric looks very fine to begin with, but once you actually come in contact with it, it's got that kind of coarse, little bit cheaper feel to it. And of the, say, 10 or so areas where you've got like the individual kind of like rooms, only about 3 of them are full. You walk in and 2 of them just have like one person sitting alone sipping a cup of tea. One's got a group of 3 and they're alternating between their tea and they're smoking some kind of foul smelling herb.
I
Now
think
this-
we'll ask for one of the further foods.
Yeah. One of the more private ones.
Okay. As you sit down, it's about 3 minutes after you walk in, a server finally comes over, little shallow bow, and says, "Welcome. What would you like me to get you?"
Sorry about
I don't suppose you have any imports from Ind.
Sadly, at the moment, we do not. Our last shipment, we were expecting it to arrive about 3 weeks ago, and we received word last week that the ship was lost at sea.
Right. Do you have some local flavors, perhaps?
Of course, we have local flavors. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
Impress me.
That I can do. For yourself, sir.
Something bold. Something dark. Kind of complex. I like a stronger flavor.
So the same thing. Gotcha. Okay. And he hurries off and disappears into the back room. He's gone for a little while.
Cardinal? I'm really going through it.
I can see that.
I feel like I'm the last strand on a frayed rope that's just waiting to snap.
I've been thinking myself to the point of insanity. To help. Because it's supposed to be my job. I haven't got a clue. What you need me to do?
I don't know. It feels like no matter what I do, I make the wrong choice. And I'm just struggling to find what direction I should head in.
Strange thing is, I've been a traveler. I don't usually pick a direction to go, if that makes sense. I just focus on the next step and making sure it's the best one I can make at the time. Might not be the best one in hindsight. Almost definitely, usually. But you keep focusing on the next step long enough and eventually you end up there, in my experience. But it is limited. As long as you know you're not walking alone.
I appreciate that. I've felt alone for a long time, and working for the Queen that helped to ease guilt that I felt for destroying my family's reputation. And now I realize that while I do have a fault to play in it, it's not mine, and that comfort that I had in who I work for, it's gone. Because it's their fault. It's like that was my compass, was do what she says and I get rewarded, and don't do what she says and I get punished. And now it feels like this whole time she's been punishing me and I just didn't even realize it. That everything was just it's like I didn't even know I was playing chess while pieces were being moved on the board.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. It's good to be able to talk to somebody and not be told everything I'm doing wrong for once.
I can't really say you're doing anything wrong. You got hurt by what Tobias said. What I said, didn't you?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said it didn't hurt. I just found out.
Try to snap you out.
Yes. Just found out everything's been a manipulation, and I realize it was the wrong decision and a hasty decision that I made, and a series of hasty decisions. It's hard to think clearly when you're under all that pressure.
Maybe you stop worrying about whether or not it was right or it's wrong. Just, we do the best with what we have in the moment, and then we stop judging it. It just is. Now we look to the next one.
And I'm going to jump in here and say that the server returns at this moment, completely not reading the room, walks in, sets down this brass pitcher, a couple cups, and says, "This is what we like to refer to as Sands of the Gin. It's one of our highest brews of tea." And he kind of looks back and forth and sees like the intensity on your face and goes, "And I do hope you enjoy it." And I take my leave and turns and walks away.
I'll use... No, I won't. I'll use the one good hand I have and pour Cardinal and myself some tea.
Look at that. You still have manners. I think that's a good step.
Yeah. I didn't learn much, but my family did teach me proper etiquette.
What do you remember of them? Every time you've mentioned them, it's just been their death, but what do you remember of them?
My dad worked a lot. He worked really hard managing the business, and my mom was super sweet. She loved tea and tea parties, and helped my dad do a lot of networking that way. And honestly, they put me into one of the best schools in the Empire, and I didn't get to spend a ton of time with them. So
I barely knew my parents.
yeah, that's kind of how I felt. I know they cared about me a lot. Now I wonder, what did they get me into? 'Cause it's clear
You know them over?
the Queen, well, Toot filled you in, but yeah, it's clear that the Queen wanted me from a young age, and I think my parents maybe were trying to shield me from that. And I wish they would have filled me in more.
Something tells me maybe they tried to make the best decision they could at that moment. Might not have been the right one.
Yeah.
I don't find much reason in blaming the dead, though. Never helps. But I'm glad
No.
we could talk about it.
It's nice to get to. It helps. I take a
It's
big
nice to
sip
know.
of this complex tea that we've been served.
You might want to blow on that. No. It's good shit.
I'd like to learn about your faith sometime. Maybe not right now, but in exploring all my options going forward. I learned a lot about Sigmar, but it'd be nice to learn about other gods.
The world is big. Looking for more gods, are you?
I don't know what I'm looking for.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
Maybe this will help you see that. And I'll take the gem of seeing that I took off out, push it over to Ezekiel. I am the next step.
I'll hold up the gem of true sight and wait. It takes an hour to attune to it, right? This one.
Yeah,
Sounds
but
right.
the time it took you like to get settled in the room and walk over here, I'd say you probably attuned to it on the way.
Well, she just handed it to me, so.
Oh, well then I'm not paying attention enough.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Thank you. I think I could find a way to put this to good use. Can I
Hopefully.
try to summon Toot Toot? Snap my finger and see if he appears.
Yeah, he appears.
Oh, thank God. Toot Toot. Would you like some tea? I'll hold up my cup if he takes a sip.
Are you worried it's poison?
I already took a sip. You're fine.
He looks like Cardinal. Did he?
He did.
I want to make sure he's trying not to kill me.
I wouldn't let him. Again.
But if he poisoned it, you wouldn't know.
I'm drinking the same tea.
Maybe you're immune to poison. I don't know.
Toot Toot, have a
Last
sip
I
of
checked.
tea.
Kind of like leans over and smells it. I smell orange. No thanks.
Well, did you deliver the message for me?
I did.
And how did that go?
I don't know. I wrote it down and kind of left it on her desk and ran away before she read it. Look, I mentioned this before. She won't destroy you. If I piss her off, I cease to exist.
I don't. You know what? I don't blame you. You did good.
Thank you. It's nice to hear that you actually appreciate what I do for you. Even though what I do for you also has included being fed to a fucking Hydra, which I still haven't forgiven you for.
That's fair. But I'm gonna keep you around for a little bit. You just want to go invisible and sit on my shoulder while Cardinal and I attend to some other things. Always good to have an extra set of eyes. Just keep an eye out behind me.
He kind of like looks at you back at Cardinal and goes, "But I want to visit."
You can talk to her by all means. I just need you
Can
as
you,
we
like,
go out
play?
about the city that you sit on my shoulder and watch my back because Archibald is in town and so are some assassins that, well, I say that really quietly. So are some assassins we paid that also aren't the friendliest with us.
I mean, I can, yes, of course, I'll go invisible and watch your back. I don't think you have anything to fear from Archibald. He's not dumb enough to make a move against you. The only time he's done anything, it's because he's been told to.
Toot Toot, what did the Queen tell you when she gave your service to me?
She told me to watch out for you, make sure that you don't do anything stupid. She seemed to really emphasize the stupid part. And she mentions that, I believe her exact words were, "This one is more important than any of the other ones I've assigned you to." But then again, the other warlocks I've worked with, dredges, like came from nothing, had nothing really to offer except for service. I might have gotten two of them killed. But that was centuries ago.
Well, bud, I'm not dead yet, so I think you're doing a good job.
He lifts his wrist to look at what would be a watch if he was there and goes, "We got time."
We do. Cardinal, what do you think we should do now? Are we gonna go get camels? Is that us? I don't remember what our...
Camels, supplies.
I'll signal the waiter over. Is there any way I could get more of this tea for the road?
We don't really have anything to go for.
You know where I could purchase some packaged tea for the few weeks of travel we're going to be doing here soon?
I mean, the trade district is probably your best bet.
Yeah.
Are you new to the city?
Relatively,
Very
yeah.
much.
Passing through.
Okay. So the trade district is very hard to miss. It's just north of the palace.
Well, okay. And after stopping by there, we need some camels. Do you have any recommendations where we could rent or purchase some camels for travel?
But I guess he's gonna say the trade district.
Actually, no, I'm not. You go to the trade district if you're looking for horses, because horses don't really go out to the desert, so those are more if you're going to get on board a ship. I want to say there is a vendor near the south gate. I believe it's... I've always had a hard time pronouncing this guy's name. Is it Joe? Joe's Camels?
Oh, that is a difficult name to pronounce. I always thought it was Yo.
It's honestly, it's the accent. Actually, it sounds like he's not far from where you come from. I believe he is from the Empire and decided that he wanted to try and make his way in the cradle of civilization, so he came here and tried initially to work in like shipping and trade, and then lost it all, bought himself some camels.
Well, when things go wrong, you gotta pivot, right?
We'll go pay him a visit. How much do we owe you?
For this is our higher end. It will be 1 gold for today.
I'll pay the gold.
It's very kind of you, Cardinal. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Also, because he's kind of broke. Spent a lot of money on whiskey I'm never gonna drink.
Maybe you could sell it.
Eh,
You're in a city.
never know. Could be useful on the road. Bribe
Time
people.
for Molotovs.
All of them?
Molotovs, yeah.
We're not planning on
Um,
blowing up a ship. are we?
Just, yeah. We go look for camels. You want to pivot to someone else for a minute?
Yeah, and then we're gonna pivot over to Tobias and Calgar. So for you guys to get to the eastern edge of the city, I'd say it's gonna take you about an hour and a half, kind of pushing 2 hours there.
Okay. I'm going. I'm a man on a mission. I'm not really caring for looking at the city very much, and I'll just glance over at Tobias every now and then.
We're gonna have to rent the forge, or what's gonna happen?
Most likely. Typical Ungi, they want their price for the time of their, not even their services, but their equipment. So I wouldn't expect anything less. Besides, I don't
Oh.
have any of the materials on hand, so I'm going to have to buy what they have anyway, so.
Well, lead us off.
Okay, so you guys get to the eastern gate, and one thing you've noticed as you approach the gate is that it seems to be like it's very heavily guarded. You've when you came in off the docks, and even when you were going through like the northern edge, you saw the gates tend to be, maybe 5 to 10 guards kind of scattered around. This one, the number of guards, both in front of the gate, on the walls around it, are probably closer to 50. And as you get within about 100 feet, two of the guards step forward, point out at you, and say, "Stop what you're doing right now. Why are you here?"
I'll just stop and raise an eyebrow and just. I was told that you may have a forge that I can borrow.
We have a forge for purposes of the city guard. Why do you need a forge?
Because I need to make a prosthetic hand. And I was told that your forge is the only one in the city that would be utilitarian for my purposes. I'm not trying to make something for window dressing.
Have you tried the other forges, or are you just going off of what someone has told you?
I was told by. I tell them the guy's name because I forgot.
I don't think I actually gave him a name.
I don't think we got a name from him. It was just
No.
he was just the counter guy.
He kind of like looks you up and down. He's clearly judging. He goes, "I'll have to clear with the
Between it,
captain. Cross the bridge. It's gonna cost you 3 gold each."
that's fine.
Sure.
I'll just take out 6 gold and pay him the 6.
Okay. So he takes the gold, pockets it, snaps his fingers, and immediately 7 guards come to surround you and like to take up flanking positions facing the
Mhm.
gate. And the one you paid turns, starts walking, and doesn't even look back to see if you're following.
Yep. I'll follow with him and just make sure that Forley's keeping up.
Okay. So you paid 6 or 9 gold.
I was wondering if you would notice. I paid 6 because I didn't include Forley.
Okay. You get to the edge of the bridge, and they kind of stop, looks back, says, "The dragon stays here."
I'll give him another 3.
It's 5 for her.
Your fort is made out of stone. It's not like she can burn anything. I'll give him the 5. I'm just grumbling.
The fort might be made out of stone, but the men are made out of flesh.
Have it your way.
Okay. Once you pay, then he walks you through, and you're moving up to the fort. The front gate, as you get up to it, it's very heavily armored. Like you can see, the construction is basically wooden core with thick iron plates, pretty much just like nailed to the outside of it. Um, the overall impression you're getting from the fort is they went for function, and from your dwarven point of view, you're not even sure they got that far into it. But as you step through, the ground has that perpetual like mud feel to it. Like even though you're in the desert, it's hot, it's dry out. The the amount of just movement and carelessness of the city guards, you feel like you're walking through mud more than sand. You get through the front gates. The first guard turns, holds up a hand, tells you to stop, says, "Wait here, I'll be back." And he walks into the main barracks just off to the north there. And you're there for probably about 5 minutes before he comes back out, with a man who's probably in his mid to late 50s. Hair is solidly gray, unruly, just beard's coming kind of like halfway down his chest, but not in like a beard that you would appreciate. Just looks like it's not taken care of. He comes out and it looks like he's been hitting the drink early in the morning. Walks up, looks you up and down, and says, "You're the dwarf wants to forge something?"
Yes.
Hmm. And my guard here says that you're trying to forge a prosthetic.
Yes. A hand.
Why would you not go to a woodworker?
Because this needs to be utilitarian? Why would you use wood on something that needs to survive impact and damage?
Covered in metal.
Or you just make the whole thing out of steel?
Did you bring steel with you?
I honestly don't know if I have any packer. I don't think. I have iron ingots from somewhere. Iron and copper. So yeah,
Okay.
I have basic stuff.
Okay.
Because I've got 30 ingots of each. Oh, I think they're from Archibald's warehouse that was raided by the Skaven. I still have those.
Just fitting.
Nice.
Says, okay. If are you going to need to? Do you need any supplies provided?
I should have the metal I need. I just need access to a forge to work it.
Hmm. How long do you think this is going to take you?
Possibly a couple visits, couple days. It depends on how fast everything comes along.
He kind of nods. Thanks for bringing those. 50 gold per day, and it's yours. And while you're working this
Yeah.
forge, if at any point your services are needed to repair any of our equipment, you will provide that service.
I can provide that service, but that will take 40 gold a day.
No. 50.
I'm just gonna start deadpanning into his eyes. He's gonna try to outstubborn a dwarf.
Well, he kind of like leans over to the point like it's condescending. Like he's bringing himself down to your level, just bending straight at the waist, looking eye to eye with you, and goes, "If you don't want to spend the 50 gold, you can fuck off because you don't need to use our forge that badly."
How much stuff do you plan on bringing me?
We haven't had to light the forge for several days, so you may be in luck and not have to provide any service. Or we might have some initiates that run into training accidents and you have to repair more.
Then I'll work on my project and I'll get your stuff done when I get to it.
As long as it's done before you leave that day, that's all I ask.
Fine.
spits in his hand, holds it out to you.
Spit in my hand and I'll grip it back.
Which hand?
The right hand. And then I'm going to squeeze a bit. I don't care if he squeezes back.
Points across the eastern wall and says, "The forge is over there. Do what you will."
Alright, and I'll just make my way over. I'm just making sure Tobias and Forley are following with me.
Sure.
This merry band of we. And as I walk outside again, I'm just looking over my shoulders and everywhere. Just elf check.
Roll perception for elf check.
I'll look too.
— 12.
15.
So Tobias, you don't see anything. Calgar, you do see an elf. He's walking right beside you. Okay, so yeah, you go into the forge, and you get to work.
Mm-hmm. And
Let me see something.
do. Alright.
So it's gonna take you, once you get into it, you get a feel for like the quality of the tools they have, how well the forge is built, stuff like that. You figure that like it's gonna take 3 days roughly for the elves to return, like they told you, or like you were told that they said they would. You think you're gonna be here for at least those 3 days.
Because I just sent you a link. I'd like to make something. Not that specific thing, because that's a magic item. That's not going to happen in 3 days. I just, in that vein, I want to make something that I can take his dagger and incorporate it into it. It's kind of like the Assassin's Creed, like hidden blade thing, so he can still have the knife.
The issue with that is that his dagger gets summoned. So you can do it like with a dagger.
Yeah.
But I'd say it would just be like a normal, mundane dagger.
Okay. What if I just like leave it open and then just put his knife in there anyway, and then they can just like tuck away or something?
I mean, you could, yeah.
I don't know.
Just if he dismisses it, it's just gonna bamf out.
It's just my brain trying to put all the sharp, pointy things into everything I can.
Did you want the hand to be like have some kind of function, like where he could grab something with it as well, or is it just like more like a solid piece?
Yeah, you said for it to be like a hand, it would take me like having an actual dwarven forge to actually get to, and then for like a simple like mock-up hand or something, then that would be the couple days.
Okay, well, like I think what I meant by saying like a hand is like fully functional, like the one that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you wanted for one that could like, if it was just like a solid piece of metal, yeah, that'd take a couple days. You'd probably have to do some like tinker tools checks to see if you can like maybe get some articulation in there, so that if he like flexes his wrist, it closes fingers.
Mm-hmm.
So not like that full function, but somewhat capable.
Something simple. Yeah, something simple.
Okay, yeah, if you want to go for that, just roll like a tinker's tools, or whatever it is, or your omni tool thing.
Yeah, do.
And Tobias will help
click
in
on-
whatever way possible, though he doesn't know what he's doing.
How does one actually roll a tool check here?
Do like a dexterity, plus your proficiency +1.
So dexterity +1.
And +3 for
Plus
proficiency.
cost, yeah, efficiency. Okay, and hey. And then with Tobias's help, is that going to change
Tobias
anything
has
over?
no idea what he's
I
doing,
know.
so his help is playing fetch.
Spanner.
Well, you say spanner, and like he turns around and looks at this wall of tools, and you're just like, and you're like, that one.
Alright, so I think that's fine. Trying to remember if I get anything else. Tools, because I efficiency not level.
No, I think the +4 works out. Like you rolled an 18 plus the 4, so you got a 22. Yeah, you're able to get at least a little bit of articulation there, so that if he flexes his wrist, then or like probably flexes the muscles in his arms, it just causes a mechanism to close the fingers, so you can at least grab something with that hand. It's not as intricate as yours, but over the 3 days, you're able to make
Yeah,
that
with
work.
mine being an actual handy hand.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, do you want me to do anything else for the random odd job stuffs that they may or may not bring me? Ow!
They actually don't bring you anything.
Okay.
I rolled low.
Works for me.
Okay, so yeah, you take your 3 days. You're working on that. Now I guess we'll go back to Zeke and Cardinal. You guys were going to Camels.
Looking for Joe's camels.
Okay, so yeah, you get down to the kind of open concourse down by the south gate, and you smell the place before you see it. It's exactly what you think. It's a stable that has you see probably about 4 camels in a pen outside, and just like a kind of rundown shed more than like an office.
It's not gonna be
I
the
assume
good
you guys are going in.
Chester.
Walk on up.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You walk in and there's man, he's late 20s, fully passed out on the desks.
Oh, reminds me of my younger days.
Younger.
Walk up and real loud, Joe! Joe!
Doesn't budge.
Is he drunk or is he dead?
Roll perception or investigation.
Oh, please just be
Would
drunk.
medication be better? A medicine.
Yeah, or medicine. Yeah, you could do that.
27.
You didn't even really need to go that high for medicine. You walk closer and you're like 10 feet away, and just that smell, that mixture of like alcohol and vomit just hits you like a wall.
Oh, brother. Right. Can I look around? Is there a bucket? Perchance. Preferably with water.
There is a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
How close are you investigating what's inside said bucket?
Glance.
It's liquid of some kind.
Over the head it goes.
Okay, so once it hits him, he like just snaps up and he's looking around. And goes, ah! Oh, that's my own piss! What the fuck is wrong with you?
Why would you keep your piss in a bucket?
Look. Do I look like I'm having a good time right now?
No, but you're about to be having a better day.
I was having a dream where I was on a white sandy beach on the Tillian coast, surrounded by 5 naked elven maids. And you woke me up by throwing a bucket of piss on my face. Tell me how that's better.
Well, you're about to do business with Archibald Fairchild of Fairchild Industries. And all you have to do is send him an invoice for us to rent 4 camels. He has hired the Neverchosen to go explore the deserts in search of some lost shipment.
No.
Why
I'm
not?
gonna hire your services anyway. Just tell me how much.
Because last time, that son of a bitch got camels from me. They all got killed and were left to rot in the desert.
Bloody hell.
So if you're working for him, you can fuck off and tell your boss that I can't think of a. You can tell your boss to fuck off too.
Should we try the truth?
That is the truth.
Roll deception.
It's okay. I only have a plus 11 to deception.
We want to deceive him.
Oh shit, I
Just
rolled that
persuade
on the
him.
wrong thing. Well, that sucks. That was a good roll. It's only one less. 25.
Yeah. You're lucky that I need money. So I won't invoice him, but you are going to pay for this.
It's just gonna work one time, I promise. At some point, it's gonna work.
Just give it up, man. Just fucking give it up.
And he just kind of like swallows hard and like reaches under the desk and pulls out this ledger that now is still fairly wet. Just sets it on the desk in front of him, flips it open, flips through a few pages, and goes, I've got 4.
That's what we need. 4 camels to rent.
Mm. For you, that's 150 gold each. I assume they're not coming back.
So is that the purchase price of the camels then? Because if you're gonna charge us that kind, if you're just gonna bend us over, and we might as well just keep the camels.
No, the purchase price is 300. This is just me assuming that they're not making it back.
$600 for 4 is
You broke up there, I didn't catch that. 600 something?
600 for 4 camels? That's steep.
It is. But if this is for Archibald Fairchild, you've got the gold to pay it. Or am I mistaken? Or were you lying and you're just trying to seem important when really You're fucking nobodies.
Listen here, Joe. We've been through more shit than you could ever imagine and still come out on top minus one hand.
Yeah, and you know what? I've been in this godforsaken country for 3 years, and I've gone through just enough shit, and I came out of it with both hands, and each hand has a finger.
You know, it'd be terrible if the guards found you passed out, covered in your own vomit. Not even passed out, but dead. I don't think anybody here would miss you, Joe. That's why you're on this side of the city. That's why you couldn't cut it as a sailor, and you're barely cutting it as a camel salesman.
You could kill me.
But if Archibald Fairchild were to say that the Neverchosen, the party of heroes, were to go out in the desert on your camels and return back safely, sure, business would be a lot better.
What that motherfucker has to say about me. He's the one that got me into this place in the first place.
Pivot.
So there's got to be some way for us to work out a better deal.
$150 gold each is the better deal.
We can do 75 gold each.
No.
Maybe we come back tomorrow. We go have some other.
Yep.
How about that?
Or you just don't.
Okay. Keep it
Okay.
coming. Bye, Joe.
Yep.
Shower.
I'd say have a good night's sleep, but I don't think you will. I walk away.
Shower. I'd recommend a shower.
Yeah. Didn't ask for your advice.
Okay.
If I was a dwarf, that name would be going in my little book right now.
Oh, the Book of Grudges is not a little book. It is sizable.
It is a very chunky book.
So, remember when we were talking about hats? I think we took the wrong.
Yep, you are probably right.
I feel like instead of doubling down, we could have just switched to saying, yeah, we hate Archibald too. Sometimes it's about feeling how they feel. Or do you think doubling down was better? I'm not a people person.
You know, I think once we used that line, anything else was out the window, and it was better to apply pressure. It didn't work. That's how it goes sometimes.
I feel like I could have convinced him we hated his ass.
I do have a different idea, though. I will use Mask of Many Faces to cast Disguise Self on myself. Hello! And how are you doing today, my fine lady?
How do you make yourself look?
I make myself look like a... Ooh. Like, I don't want to look too fancy. But like a person...
Tobias.
A person who's about to journey out into the desert. You know, wrap on his face, like light clothes. Human. Different colored eyes, you know, a little bit more, a little bit darker skin tone, like I'm from the area. Nice thick beard.
And are you heading back in? Is that what your plan is?
I'm heading back to Joe's camel shack.
Okay. So as you walk in, he's now at the back of the shack, and you walk in just as he takes this bucket of water, tips it over his head, and just douses himself in water. You just hear, "Oh, motherfuckers!" Turns around, looks at you, and says, "What do you need?"
It seems you're having a rough day.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
How much to rent a couple of camels to go to Kofor and come back in a couple weeks?
Kofor. Are you looking for just the camels? Do you have your own food to go with them, or do you need me to provide?
We'd need some food to provide. I need about 4 camels.
He's just kind of like rubbing his head, like it's clear he's suffering from like the worst hangover ever. He goes, "Normally I do 75 gold per camel. If you're doing 4, I'll give you a discount. It'd be 70 gold each. Comes with the food."
Alright, can you put that under the business name Fuck Fairchild Enterprises? I'll be back in about 20 minutes with your gold.
Is that incorporated?
Not yet, but it should be. Go ahead and add it on there.
See, I would, except they run so much business in this place that if it's on my ledgers, anything saying "fuck Fairchild," I might as well just go take a long walk off the walls.
Just put it down as FFEI.
Roll a persuasion.
I am also good at this. I'm going to use my once a day human inspiration.
1, 1, 1, 1.
Booty, why do you complicate everything?
Oh
Why?
my god.
Did you roll a 1?
Not so
he
pushy.
just kind of like shakes his head and goes, "It's too risky. So I'd rather just put down a name."
Name's Tarek.
Is that with a C or a K?
With a K.
Last name?
Right hand.
You had to think about your last name, and your last name is right hand.
Well, you said that Archibald might be taking a look at your books. I think you'd understand.
Whatever. And he just starts signing it out, turns the book towards you, slaps the quill down, and says, "Go ahead and sign, Mr. Right Hand."
And I will sign with my right hand. Tarek right hand.
Alright. That is... Oh, I'm not adding well. 75... 70... carry the 1. 270 gold.
Give me just a minute, I'll be right back. And I'll go walk down the street to where I left Cardinal. I need 270 gold.
Okay. I give him 270 gold from my pocket.
Go walk back. Slap the 270 gold down on the counter. Spit in my hand. We have a deal.
He looks at your hand and goes, I'll fucking do that shit.
Too bad.
Now are you leaving with the camels right now? Do you need to stay here for a little bit?
I'll pick them up in 3 days.
3 days. It's an extra 30 gold for stabling.
Tell you what, I like you. I'll give you an extra 10.
Sure. They'll be here, ready to go in 3 days.
It's been a pleasure.
You have 40 gold on you?
I gave him 10. Well, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay.
That is, I am down to 36 silver and 3 copper.
Wow, you are broke.
I bought a lot of whiskey.
This is what happens when you pay 8,000 gold to fucking get somebody killed.
We
We
paid.
didn't use his money. We used the party money. The
I
party
will-
money still has plenty of funds.
As I'm leaving, I'll take a good look at myself in one of the windows I pass and really commit this face to memory for when I have to go pick up these camels.
Roll an intelligence check for me.
Oh
Darn it.
boy.
It's not like I'll roll another one.
Okay. You think you got a pretty good feel for how the face looks, and the only issue is like where you're trying to get that reflection is like a badly polished mirror, and like it's very distorted. So you're kind of playing it by ear.
Well, hopefully he's too hungover to remember.
We're gonna find out.
All right, and then
Well, and also, remember the name you gave.
I got it.
If-
Putting it in my notes.
You should have just said, this other person is going to pick up the camels. This is their description. It's my...
Problem is,
You
It can't
assumed
be-
He was thinking.
it can't. Neither Cardinal nor Zeke can show up when we pick up the camels. And there are 4, so you need at least 2. I guess I could have done, Caligar and Tobias, but this is better. It's funnier. It's also very Ezekiel.
It is.
Yeah.
It absolutely
great.
is. Okay. So you guys finished off with the camels. Is there anything else you were doing on your little excursion through the city?
Nope.
Nothing in particular. I think while I'm there making Ezekiel's temporary hand, I may just like randomly ask Tobias just general conversation stuff, because like this is the first time me and him specifically have gone anywhere. So it's like there's definitely a he's still half Elky, but I'm trying to at least be somewhat sociable-ish.
Sure. What do you ask?
Have anything specific? It was just general. I'm trying not to be an ass, is really it.
Do me a favor and roll just a straight charisma check.
Oh boy. Whopping 4 because of a -3.
Yep. Yeah, like the first question that comes to mind for him is not that he tries to, but he pretty much just blatantly insults your mother. um, and it's phrased in such a way that like he kind of relates your parents having relations to her, and refers to your dad pretty much as a way of like bestiality. Like he's got clearly no respect for your father, and you've spent enough time with Calgar, like you're understanding where that's coming from. It still kind of stings a little bit.
More
Sorry.
confused than angry.
I'm actually tearing up.
But that's actually exactly how I expected that roll to go, so I'm very happy with that.
It's okay. Get all the bad rolls out during the RP.
This is why I avoid charisma.
That's why I asked for it. Okay, so
Time skip.
I think that about covers everything. Cardinal, you did mention something in a private message. Don't know if you wanted to go over that tonight, or is that being saved for a different time?
Which one? Because Which one?
Let me see.
I don't think it was anything particular. I'd remember it. Oh. Not right now.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll do our time skip. We'll jump to the 3 days. But I think that is something we can deal with next time.
No.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta wait and see.
I'm gonna sneeze myself into an early death.
Nathan, tell them where they can find
After
us.
my nap, I.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Alright, well, if you enjoyed our chaos as much as we enjoyed being it, then give us a follow, and we'll be back on Sunday, same time. And also next Tuesday, we're going back to the One Night Rise. And again next Wednesday. Wow. Ew. And then if you scroll down below, you'll be able to find links to our Discord, YouTube, Azrael's TikTok, and Booty's Twitch. Our Discord's free and open. Come join us and hang out. Our YouTube, we put up our replays usually 2 days after the session, and we're getting into shorts. Azrael's TikTok, he does a lot of D&D themed shorts and videos, and they're all great. And over on Booty's Twitch, he streams a couple times a week, and he's very fun to be around, interacts with us in the chat, so go hang out with him. And I believe that's it. Back to
I'm working on finding us somebody. I think I found one. Looks like we will be rating Insomnia Night RPG. Looks like they're playing Curse of Strahd currently.
Ooh.
Been playing for about
Nice.
50 minutes, so should be a good point in their game. And yeah.
Go say hi to them.
Everybody make sure you say hi on the raid. And we will see you all next time.
Bye bye.
Bye,
Good
buddy.
night.
Bye.
bye-bye.